SM1 students, here we are with chapter 2.4, and this is just a continuation of what we were doing before. And if you're able to do these multi-step problems with equations, then you'll be able to do them with inequalities also. Okay, so the first one, remember how to do multi-step problems? We start by isolating the variable. We want to get y by itself. So I'm going to take away the extra terms. So the way that I get rid of this 7 is I subtract 7 from both sides. I'm left with y over negative 6 equals 2. So now what do? I multiply both sides by negative 6, and I get y equals, negative 12. Okay, over here I'm trying to get v by itself, so I'm going to get rid of this term first. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides, and I get 2v equals 12. And then I divide by 2, and I get v equals 6. Okay, so that's just a review of what we were doing before. But now let's expand that to what it would look like with inequalities. All right, so these are exactly the same, but I have a less than symbol here. But I'm still going to subtract 7 from both sides, and I get y over negative 6 is less than 2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative 6. Remember, when we multiply or we divide by a negative, we switch the sign. So I'm multiplying by a negative 6. Those 6's cancel out, and I get y, flip the sign, is greater than negative 12. All right, over here, I add the 4 like I did before. I get 2v is greater than or equal to 12, and I'm dividing by 2, but it's not negative, so I don't need to worry about changing the sign. And of course, if I am graphing this, let's say I have negative 12 right here. Y is greater than negative 12. So I have an open circle, and it goes in that direction. And an interval notation, if it asks for that, which it may or may not, okay, we have negative 12 to infinity. All right, so over here we have v is greater than or equal to 6. So I have a filled in dot, okay, it goes to the right, and I have, not a parenthesis, but a bracket, and 6, and we have infinity again. All right. Solving an inequality with variables on both sides. Again, this is just like an equation, but you have to watch for that negative. So here we look to see, first of all, if we can simplify both sides of the inequality, and they're both simplified. I can't combine anything or make it any smaller. So I think I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. This gives me 4x minus 5 is less than 11. Now I'm going to add 5 to both sides, and I get 4x is less than 16. Divide by 4, and I have x is less than 4. So that's the answer to that one. So now, I know I'm not having you try any of these. I think that these are pretty straightforward. Okay, but there are a couple of special solutions. So what we have here, let's go through and let's look at both sides of this inequality. This side needs to be distributed. So I have 8b minus 3 is greater than, let's distribute, so this is 8b plus 12. Now I'm going to subtract 8b from both sides, and I get negative 3 is greater than 12. Is that right? Is negative 3 bigger than 12? No, it's not. So this is not correct. So there is no solution for this one. Okay, this is similar to, again, to the equations. So over here I'm going to distribute, and I get 10W minus 2 is less than or equal to 7 plus 10W. I subtract 10W from both sides, and I get negative 2 is less than or equal to 7. Well, is that true? Is negative 2 less than or equal to 7? Yes, it is. So in this case, it is an infinite amount of solutions. Okay, so those are those special cases. All right. All right, I'm going to do a story problem and wrap it up in the next video.